If your church is tired of dealing with glitchy live streams, freezing computers, or complicated setups, I have something for you. The Magewell Ultra Encode AIO is a hardware encoder that takes the stress out of live streaming. No computer required, no software to figure out, just reliable live streaming every week. This encoder will work with pretty much any switcher you have. It accepts SDI and HDMI input and has loop through for both of those. For audio, you've actually got a few options. There's a 3.5mm input and output jack, or you can use audio embedded in your HDMI or SDI signal. In our setup, we send audio from our soundboard into the analog inputs on our ATEM 1ME switcher and then pass that embedded audio over SDI to the Magewell. Now here's where it really shines. It can stream up to 6 platforms at the same time. Facebook, YouTube, your church website, you name it. You can send your stream to all of them at once without needing extra gear or a subscription. It works with all major protocols too, RTMP, SRT, even NDI-HX, so it plays nice with pretty much any streaming setup you already have or might want to build later on. And yes, it works with popular church-specific platforms like Church Online, as long as they provide an RTMP stream key and server URL, which most of them do. As for internet speed, you'll want a minimum upload speed of 5 to 8 megabits per stream. So if you're streaming to multiple platforms at once, make sure your network can handle the total bandwidth. Otherwise, you might experience buffering or dropped frames. You also have the option to run a substream at the same time. This is great if you want to send different bit rates to different places. Currently, we're using the mainstream for the recording and then the substream for the actual live streaming. I do this because YouTube only needs a maximum of 8 megabits per second and Facebook is even less, so that's all I need to tax the network with. However, I do want a higher quality recording for post-production of the sermon, so I send the recording 16 megabits per second with the mainstream. I didn't mention this yet, but you have the option to go all the way up to 4K with your resolution, and it will receive any frame rate, whether that be something like 29.97 or 30.00. Like I just mentioned, it doesn't just stream, you can also record your services straight to a USB drive, SD card, or network storage. And it records in standard formats like MP4 or MOV, so it's super easy to upload or edit later. Just keep in mind that the recording is not necessarily a different encoding. You are sending it either your mainstream or your substream, but you at least have the option between the two. If your internet goes down midstream, don't worry, it keeps recording locally. You'll still have a clean backup copy of your service even if the live stream gets interrupted. The Ultra Encode even lets you schedule your live stream to start and stop at specific times, so if your service starts at 10 a.m. every Sunday, you can set it and forget it. You have to set a specific length for your stream. In our case, a service typically lasts around 2 hours, but has the potential to be 3 hours or longer, so we just overshoot and set the schedule to go for 4 hours and then stop it manually with the touchscreen. If someone forgets to physically stop the stream, you have the peace of mind knowing that it will automatically stop at your set time frame. You can also schedule your local recording the same way, which is really nice. On top of that, you can add overlays to the stream like your church logo, and it gives you the option to add a custom fallback image just in case your encoder is not receiving any video data during your stream. Now, if you're worried about this encoder being difficult to use, trust me, it's not. You can really get into the weeds with the settings, but most people won't have to. It will take a little time to get things initially set up, but then you won't have to worry about it. I want to make sure that you don't miss anything when you get it set up, so I left a free Magewell Ultra Encode setup cheat sheet linked down in the description. To make your life easier, the Ultra Encode has a screen on the front so you can see what's going on at all times regardless of whether or not the controller is pulled up, and you'll also see audio meters on the screen so you know your audio is coming through before you ever go live. It connects to your network through Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and while you can set up both, it doesn't automatically fail over if one goes down. You'll need to switch that manually. So for the most reliable experience, I'd recommend sticking with wired Ethernet if possible. As far as what's in the box, you get the encoder itself, a power supply, and a little mounting plate. You'll need to grab your own HDMI or SDI cables, and if you're planning to mount it in a rack, you might want to pick up some extra mounting hardware. Now, I'm not going to lie, this thing isn't the cheapest option out there, but you do get what you pay for. It's professional grade gear, built to run reliably every single week without needing a full-time tech expert to keep it going. If you get stuck, Magewell has solid documentation on their website, plus they offer customer support to help you out. But if you really want quick answers from a team that actually understands church gear, check out Collaborate Worship All Access. You'll get direct access to us anytime you hit a snag, whether it's with the Magewell or any other piece of AV gear that you're using. You'll also have access to our private Slack group where you can chat and troubleshoot with our other students. Check it out via the link in the description. Now, you might be wondering how the Magewell stacks up against other popular hardware encoders like the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro or the Blackmagic Web Presenter. My personal opinion, while those are solid options for the price, they honestly feel a little consumer grade compared to this. When it comes to image quality, Magewell's encoder holds up way better. The compression is cleaner, the colors look more accurate, and you don't get that over-processed, soft look that Blackmagic encoders sometimes produce. So yes, it costs more, but you're getting something that looks better, runs smoother, and is built to last. Plus, you save money in the long run since you don't need a subscription to send out your stream to multiple locations. Alright, what about some things that I don't like? For one, even though you can schedule your stream and recording, it sometimes defaults your schedule to off, and you have to manually go in and turn your scheduling back on, even though we don't ever power down the device. I haven't yet figured out why it does this. If you have one and you know why, let me know down in the comments. Another thing I don't like is that your input on the touchscreen doesn't always respond instantly. This is mostly noticeable when you're starting and stopping the stream or the recording. It kind of just gets hung up for up to a second after you touch the screen. It's not really a big deal. It's just something for your team to be aware of. It took us stopping and then immediately sending it a command to start a new stream to find this out. And those are really the only complaints I have. I will say that I have rarely noticed some short jittering in stream footage or really short artifacting. I'm not really sure where this is being caused in the signal chain. It could be completely unrelated to the encoder. It is very rare to see this though. 99.9% of the time, the footage on the stream and recording looks perfect. Now, as great as this thing is, I'll be honest, it's not the right fit for every church. If you're a smaller church just getting started with streaming, and you've already got something simple working like OBS running on a laptop, you probably don't need to jump to something like this just yet. You can keep things simple and grow into this later when you're ready to level up. It also might be overkill if you're only streaming to one platform and don't really need the advanced features like scheduling, overlays, or multiple outputs. And if the budget is really tight, this probably isn't the cheapest way to start. There are lower cost options out there that can get you streaming, even if you don't have all the pro features this one does. I'm going to leave another free cheat sheet in the description with some recommendations at different price points. But if you're at the point where you're looking for reliability, simplicity, and the ability to scale your live stream without babysitting it every week, this is a great next step. I'll drop a link to the Ultra Encode in the description so you can learn more or pick one up for your church. Thanks for watching to the end. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.